So when you claim something that you are, I am wealthy, I'm healthy, I'm in love, whatever it is, right? That's instant. Done. You said what you wanted, and your higher self, your awareness, your I amness says, okay, mirror, do it. And the mirror begins to put together props, so to speak. It begins to build props so that it will make sense to your current character, your personality, so it'll make sense into your storyline. It begins to build the props that maybe were never there, or uses the ones that are there. It moves them around, moves around conversations, moves around all the props necessary for you to have this believable scene in your current reality. And that's what a lot of people call the bridge of incidence, right? But there's really no bridge. And those props that are built, so to speak, right, actually become very tiny movements, meaning that gives the feeling of instantaneous, right? The feeling of instantaneous, because remember, it's all instant. And to the degree that you see yourself as the only author of your reality, right, those small props or large props can take a long time to build, because you believe that things take time, that money takes time, that there has to be a way, that there has to be some long ass drawn out story, that everybody in your family and your culture has to believe it. Like, it just, how much are you willing, how much are you clinging to the believability of how things have to be, determines on how many freaking props your mirror has to build for you. So the more you sit back and chill and you're just like, no, I don't give a shit. You see, I already know it's done. And now you're just witnessing the mirror build its little props or scaffolding or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter what you want to call it. Like, everything is just conforming to you. And that's all. You're witnessing it. You know it's done. And you're just witnessing. And that's what people call a bridge of incidence. There's no bridge. There's no gap. There's no bridge. No bridge of incidence. I know Neville talked about the bridge of incidence will unfold. In other words, the storyline will unfold. The past, present, future, like the linear bridge, like you will encounter certain things that will lead you to your desires. That statement, I think, has a lot of confusion for a lot of people, including myself, for a very long time. And it was never intended to be confusing. However, because of our language, we misinterpret a lot of things. And the bridge of incidence, right, has been construed as that you are here, right? This is where you're currently at. And I'm going to use a Kit Kat. You are here, and your desire is this, right? It looks like, when you hear that bridge of incidence will happen, it looks like you're like, ooh, first of all, you're here, and then you're like facing your desire, and then a bridge of incidence, right, that you're going to go through these steps or these things that is going to cause you and lead you to your desire, where it says, ta-da! So then you begin looking for a bridge. But notice the gap. This is important. Notice the gap that you're imagining there is. Time and space are concepts. So the bridge kind of sounds like there's a gap, doesn't it? The bridge sounds like a gap between you and what you want. And there is no gap between you and what you want. There's no time in between what you and what you want. There's no space in between you and what you want. So no space, no gap, no bridge. It's just this idea that I think people have ran with it and talked about it in a lot of content. And so what happens with this is so important. Stay with me here on this. Because what happens is you begin to look for signs for that bridge. You begin to look for signs, changes, different things to happen. And if you don't look for them, and let's say you're just chill and something occurs in your reality that's not the norm, you will say, oh, is that it? Is that it? It's like you become really thirsty for movement, for a sign, for a change. And then if it's not what you anticipate, it's not what you in your mind think that would be logical for you to experience that change, you begin to panic. And you think that because it appears that nothing's happening, that nothing has changed, you think that there's no bridge. You think that you're not moving. You think that you're not in your new desire, that you're not on the bridge yet, that you're just like, no, you're still stuck in the same place. And that feels like Groundhog Day. That feels like a loop that you're stuck in, that you can't get out of. And so you go mad and looking for techniques, or you start affirming harder, or those kind of things, because you desperately want to get out of your current situation. This is a lot here, right, in this topic. And this topic just came to me this morning. I'm like, let's talk about that. And I'm like, yeah, this is good. So the bridge, right, is something now you begin to look for, either in your feelings or your thoughts changing, or in circumstances changing. And if none of that is changing, right, if none of that's changing, and you don't see anything changing, including your thoughts and feelings, and everything looks the same, you make that mean you're still in an identity that you don't choose to be in. And then you start doubting yourself. You feel like you've been throwing out affirmations or imagining to the wind, like nothing and no one heard you, and that you're just stuck, and that maybe it's because of your self-concept, maybe it's because you're not worthy, maybe it's because you don't know how to receive. You start going down all these rabbit holes, and then some people go down those rabbit holes for years, trying to fix their self-concept, trying to fix themselves. The idea that there's a bridge of incidence, you want to drop that one too. Just drop it. As in, you become hyper fixated, as humans do, wanting something tangible to sink their teeth into so that they can feel safe, relaxed, and feel like it's actually happening. Be in that specific loop forever. Like you're failing and you're doing something wrong, and that everybody's ahead of you, everybody's getting it. No. Just drop the whole idea that there's some bridge of incidence. Drop the idea that there's a gap, a space, time between you and what you desire. There is none. Okay, more bridge of incidence. I'm going to give you an example. There's only now. There's only the eternal moment of now. All right? So the other morning, I woke up and I thought of a friend. And I said, I wonder what's up with that person. And it was like 10 a.m., right? And I was just lying in bed, like just doing my thing and thinking about what I wanted to be thinking about. Then I finally rolled over and grabbed my phone. And I grabbed my phone and I looked, and there was a message from that friend. Of course, okay? Because I am reality. So, however, that person reached out to me with that message at, let's say, 7 a.m. And I was grabbing my phone at 10 a.m. And so in that moment, right, the old me used to think, oh, wow, what a coincidence. I was just thinking about you. And would have even said that to my friend. And now I look at it and I said, this is really funny. Because the bridge of incidence, right, made it seem like she beat me to it. It made it seem like she texted me first and she must have been manifesting me. Well, that seems all fun and cute and everything. Like, oh yeah, they're manifesting me too. She's in my reality. She's in her reality and I'm in my reality. But when it comes to me, the only thing that matters is my perception of everything is coming out of me. Nothing's coming to me. I'm not intertwined in someone else's reality. And this goes for all of us. Okay, so the bridge of incidents look like that I thought of her and the mirror had to set up props to make it look, to give it an entry, to give the echo. The mirror had to echo me back, and it had to build up the props to enter into my reality so that I can see the echo. And the props were a 7 a.m. timestamp of her messaging me waking up going, oh my God, what a coincidence. But it was all me. The moment that I thought it, bing, that text message appeared. But the whole story appeared like, 7 a.m., blah, blah, blah. And then your mind's going to want to say, oh, well, she must have been thinking about you and that's why you thought of her. No. And even Neville Goddard used to say things like, he's like, you're going to be tempted to think that it would have happened anyway. In other words, you're going to be tempted to say, oh, that's just a coincidence. Oh, that's them manifesting me. You're going to be tempted to say all kinds of stuff because you're going to still the old self's going to try to deny that it's all you. So the bridge of incidence is just scaffolding that gets built up. The mirror just creates an entry point, creates props, moves conversations, all that stuff, so that it can enter your physical 3D experience. That's all a bridge of incidence is. But those are not the things that you're looking for to see for confirmation that you're right, that what you said is true. The scaffolding, the props, the mirror, all of that's not confirmation. That's its job. So when you scream down a hallway, a dark hallway, echo, echo, who do you think is going to be echoing back? A horse? A chicken? I mean, it's you. When you're yelling down a hallway, echo, echo, it's you. You expect to hear that echo back. And that's all the mirror is. So bridge of incidence is just freaking echo. That's it. Bridge can seem like another trap, like it's almost like another subtle way of saying the mirror, the bridge of incidence, the mirror is going to make it happen. And then you begin to look for a bridge. Then you begin to look for things unfolding, right? When the bridge is nothing more, the length of the time that you're on this so-called bridge, there's no bridge, right? Is to, even Neville Goddard would say this, to the degree of the naturalness, like to what extent you have the finality, the awareness of finality, like there's no other option, like this is it. You're not doubting it, you're not questioning it, you're not arguing with it. That's the finality. You stop arguing and asking, you just like, no, this is it. And there's no affirmation or person or coach that could talk you into that finality, because it's you. And so the bridge is nothing more than that, right? So you're going to witness it unfold, but in order for it to unfold, you have to be the one that is all 10 toes down, and you're like, there's no other option here. This is what it is. This is what is happening. It's done. I've declared it, period. And you won't even notice a bridge. You'll probably won't even notice until after. So it's kind of like inspired action, like you'll never know. And it just is. And you'll never know because you're so sure of what you said that you just don't give two shits about the bridge. You're just like, whatever. And by the time the desire expresses itself in physical form to you, you're going to be like, well, what took you so long? Because like, I already knew that this was happening. And that's why a lot of people say they're not even surprised or not even shocked or none of that stuff, because they're just like, it's just natural, it's normal. So this has nothing to do with feeling elated. It's not about feeling neutral. It's not about feelings at all. It's about the finality in your decision. Like, you know who you are. You know that you're the only thinker in your reality. You're the only one choosing in your reality. You're the only one deciding in your reality. There's nothing opposing your reality. There's nothing opposing your word, that your word is true, period. It's your word is true and whole, complete, final. There's no if and buts or maybes when you speak. That's it. I think the scripture I'm thinking of is Isaiah 55, and it talks about that my word will not return void. In fact, it will return fulfilled and better than you imagined it. It's like, I'm not quoting it exactly, but that's the scripture, that my word shall not be returned void. So when you speak, you're not speaking to an empty room. You're not just throwing out hopeful words and hopeful affirmations. When you speak, know that you're speaking and it will not return to you void. So how can you speak and doubt that when your word is final, your word is true, your word is the law? You are the law, you are the word. So when you speak, your word is final. It's non-negotiable. So when you think about a bridge of incidence, right, you're just like, I don't give a shit if you deliver this in a basket out the window with some unicorn carrying it, or if it knocks on my door, or I don't really give a shit. You know, like, that's not my problem. I don't care how. Like, you already know that you ask, you tell, you ask for it, you declare it, whatever. And you could say, I want this. This is what I want next. And I don't know what this shit is that I'm looking at, because that's not what I said. What I said is that I am XYZ. And then you allow Source, God, to handle the how, right? And that's it. And the mirror is only a reflection. The mirror is not a bridge. So a lot of you treat the mirror as a bridge, and there's really no bridge. There's no gap. So get the idea that the bridge is like something that's happening between where you are and where that thing is, or that there's this possibility. I heard somebody else say this nonsense, that when you shift from one reality to the next, that there's this empty space or this unfolding, whatever. It's like, yeah, when you create that, you're the one creating that stuck or that transition space or the bridge space, right? It's like you either shit or get off the pot. You're either on the pot or you're not. You're either sitting down or you're standing up. You're not in between realities. You're not, you have to choose. And the more that you are, that's what people refer to as quantum jumping, is like, you're either this person or this person. You're either this, who you say you are, or you're not. And if you feel like there's some long ass bridge in that you're stuck in between two, that's just because you really haven't chosen which side you on. Which one are you? Because the moment that you know you are that one, there's no doubt. And you're not looking for signs, you're not asking questions, you don't know anything other than who that person, than that version of you. You start identifying yourself only as that person. You're just like, I don't know what the hell this other shit is. It's not what I said. And you no longer identify. And that is what a lot of people confuse the bridge for. It's like they think all these things have to happen. The other thing that I wanted to say about the bridge is a lot of people look at the bridge as in like logical steps have to unfold for it to happen. And for some people, yes, that will have to happen because they believe that all these sequence and series of events have to take place in this linear, logical way because that's all you know. So just affirming it and not identifying with it will keep you stuck, trapped, and miserable and frantic and anxious. Because you're not being that person. You're not claiming yourself to be that person. You're thinking that all these sequence or series of events or a bridge has to happen to prove and confirm that you really are who you say you are. No, you say who you are right now, and that's all you see yourself. That's all you recognize yourself. And all those events and things that you're going to be like, oh, that's how it happened, huh? As it's happening or after it happens, you're going to be like, huh, that's how it happened, huh? But you're not saying how is it going to happen from I'm not her or I'm not him and trying to figure out how you're going to be him. So really ask yourself, you're like, am I expecting, like, do I think that this has to be logical? Do I think I have to be logical about this, about how I end up wealthy, healthy, happily married, or well, whatever? It's like, do I think all these steps have to happen? Because if you do, you're just like, that's bullshit. I'm either her or I'm not her. Because if you think there's still logical steps that you have to cross some bridge, you're still seeing yourself as the person that doesn't have it. You want to be the person that already has it. And you're just like, whatever happens, but I'm that person. And you're spending more time identifying as that person than you are asking and wondering if this is a sign. Do you see the difference? If you're that person, you're going to think differently, talk differently, see things differently. You're going to imagine things differently. And it's going to become more and more natural to you because that's all you're going to know. And you're going to notice that you don't like certain things anymore. You like certain things. It's like, but it's not going to be because you force it. And you're going to be like, oh yeah, I don't like that thing. It's just going to happen so natural. You're not even going to know it's happening to you, like inspired action. So that bridge of incidence, I think, really has a lot of people trapped. And I know in the manifesting community it's become a big thing, and you know that, oh, all these things are going to happen now. Then you start looking for the mirror to show you. The mirror's a reflection of what you're doing. So if you're looking, the mirror's going to show you that you're looking. That's it. It's just going to sit next to you and show you that it's only reflecting who you're being. You think you're affirming that you are the same, but if you're looking, the mirror can only show you that you're looking. It can't show you the thing that you declared yourself to be. Last thing I want to say about the bridge is the bridge is not your responsibility. It's not our responsibility to know what a bridge is or if we're on it. We're not responsible for building a bridge, and we're not here to conform to a bridge, meaning circumstances, thoughts, feelings that you're having. We're not here to conform to them. Your only responsibility is your word. The thing that you chose, the thing that you decided that you are now, that's your only responsibility. And your word will not come back void to you. Your word is the law, and it is final. It's not negotiable. You're not negotiating with some dumbass bridge, okay? And the bridge is just you remaining in your identity no matter what. No matter what you see, no matter what is you feel. no matter what is presented itself. You're just like, I already chose. My word is final. I said what I said. That is your only job. So no matter what you hear from any coach or read from any book or whatever, remember, your word is final. Your word is a law. That is the only thing that you are responsible for.